anthropology perspective, there's probably someone who discovered basically like the stuff that we're talking about today. And then that guy started exploring in this way. And then as he explored more and more and more and more and more, he started to like figure out all kinds of stuff. And then what happens in the world is when you have a being like this, there is a natural drawing of other people to these people. This is why religions form around them when they become quote unquote enlightened. It's not like
you saying chat is actually a cult? Is that?
We try very hard not to be a cult, and if we ever stopped trying to become a cult, we would become a cult.
Yeah, that's true.
But there is a drawing towards of these people, and I'm not talking about me, by the way. I'm looking at you.
I know.
So this is what happens: is people are drawn to you because of your tranquility or some shit. Who knows? But there's something that people look to these people and they say, okay, like I want a piece of what this person has. But that's probably historically where it came from. And then there's a set of practices that were developed that then like there were a bunch of like gurus. And then the gurus like, but at the end of the day, this is just an internal exploration where anyone who does this exploration will discover so far what we believe to be basically the same thing. So anyone, if there's a shoebox and there's an object inside, anyone who looks in the box will find the same thing. And thus far,
once you start to discover, you find the same object.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so this is what kind of gets turned into what we call kind of the karmic religion. So this is like Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, to a certain degree Sikhism. But there are independent collaborations of this in many different traditions. So Kabbalah is a good example, like in the Jewish tradition. Like if you look at Kabbalah texts and like the Samved from Hinduism, the texts are very similar. If you look at Sufism, so these paths of mysticism, the mystical branches of all of our religious traditions are basically very similar.
That's one of the things that, like, I have a cursory knowledge of a bunch of different religions, and I found that is the case. There's many different sections that are mostly the same, and then there's very specific sections where they branch off. And yeah, no, I totally understand that completely. It's one of the reasons I ended up not being heavily religious, is because I was like, I understand the message here. I don't need to ascribe to the one belief structure, if that makes sense.
And I had a very similar experience in terms of following a particular guru, so I studied with lots of them because I didn't feel like one was any particularly. I mean, I had a couple that have been pretty important in my life, but that too, I've started to understand that that's just the person that I had in that moment, and that person helped me along the journey, and that's what it means. You don't necessarily need to attach yourself to them until the right Your question about
yeah, that answers my question.
One last thing just about being a monk. So I think that the whole reason, so you don't need to become a monk to do this. The thing that you'll discover over time, though, is that the lifestyle of a monk supports or increases the likelihood of creating the neurotransmitters that are transcendent consciousness that are similar to like psychedelics. So, for example, I'm doing my more hardcore sessions. I am very careful about what I put into my body. So even like if I eat meat or fast food a single time, the quality of my meditation goes down to like 10%.
Yeah, I don't eat fast food at all. Like I cook all my own food. I do it really simply because it's just, I feel terrible.
Yeah,
like, just
so
feel...
that's consistent. So you don't need, I mean, so there are formal places where they do that kind of stuff. You're kind of figuring it out as you go, which is fine. And then over time, what you'll kind of notice is that, like, certain foods and stuff will, like, I would describe it this way. So that doesn't become important until you start getting quite advanced. So for the average person, they don't need to do this. But you kind of think about it like a bodybuilder. Like, if you're a bodybuilder, then you have to be extra careful. Even 10 extra grams of carbohydrates will completely fuck everything up. So the higher you go on the bell curve, like, the more sensitive you have to be to continue to climb.
Yeah, there's only like one time even a month that I eat something that's like bad. And we have this joke in the stream for the burrito index. We would determine how many burritos I could buy from Taco Bell based on the annual in the restaurant. And that's the only time I do it. And that's it. Like, the rest of the month is all cooked. And it's funny too, because the largest food expense I have is those 3 burritos from Taco Bell. Because fast food's crazy expensive.
I know, it's crazy. It's nuts.
Wild. Yeah. They're up to $5.16 in my local Taco Bell for a 5-layer. Up from like $4.75. I just know they're called a 5-layer burrito, and it's more than $1 a layer, so I should know, right? Like it's ridiculous at that point. But no, we've been tracking it for a year now. We've been watching the burrito inflation, which is quite funny.
That's sad, dude.
It is sad.
Yeah, so I think this is the universe's way of telling y'all to stop eating burritos.
Yeah, stop it. You know, it's really bad. That's the only day, like, I'll eat them. Oh, I'll eat them. But it's the only day of the month where it's like, I'm eating this with the full knowledge that I'm going to feel gross afterwards. Like, fine, right? That's the one day for that. Yeah, the rest of the month, I just cook all for myself.
Okay, cool, man. So any other questions from chat, or we...
That's up to them.
Are you still streaming?
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm not streaming. I rated over to you.
I know, but I mean, are you going to stream now?
No, so I stream from about 1 a.m. to about 10 a.m. PST every day, sometimes up to about 12 noon.
1 a.m. to 10, what?
Yeah. Yeah, I stream from about 1 a.m. to about 10 a.m. I streamed a full 9 hours before coming on here, actually about 10 hours.